So we're back, everyone, with another episode of Enjoy Life. And today's guest is a great guest, a great friend of mine. He is currently a chiropractor. He's going to be opening up his own place soon, or transitioning to his own place soon. He's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm excited to hear his story today. My guy, Logan. Thank you for coming through, man.
Absolutely.
I really do appreciate it because, I always say this time is one of the most valuable things we have. So it's always a blessing to have someone on and come tell their story. And from what I've heard so far, it's going to be a good story to hear. So why don't we just kind of start off where everything kind of got started with you?
All right. So born and raised in Thibodaux, Louisiana, homegrown. Came from a good family. We had our struggles just like anyone else, but they always made sure me and my sister had everything we needed. They had an extreme sacrifice to themselves, so I'm very thankful for that. Raised Christian, raised Catholic, all that stuff. Now a Christian, but get into that later. But yeah, man, went through high school, played all the sports you could play. Was really into baseball and football for a while, but as I got into high school, it was just like a baseball type of deal. And then once I got to high school, I was playing baseball, and you play a lot between summer league, whatever, what have you, travel ball, that stuff. And I just realized, man, like my heart wasn't in it anymore.
I find that a lot. Like a lot of people who play baseball at a young age, like you kind of said, like the travel ball, like that gets kind of overwhelming. And almost to a point where either you've already exhausted yourself out before high school, or you just don't have the same love for it.
Yeah,
in a way.
No doubt, and that's exactly what was kind of starting to happen. I was playing. All my good buddies were on the team, and I was loving that part of it.
Yeah.
But I realized, I was getting towards the time of like hanging it up when if I'd make an error in the field, like it didn't affect me, and I knew that was bad because the team was suffering for it. Right. Whether I was taking up a spot for someone else or whether I was putting the team at a disadvantage, that's something I've always taken seriously, and especially now in some of the roles I play. So that was a no-go for me. But as I was progressing, with baseball and everything like that, with the rest of my classmates and buddies and all, I started to look into like combat sports and whatnot.
Yes,
and so me and I'm sure Connor plays us. Yeah, we started just fighting each other in the garage. so, like, no rhyme or reason. We just put some gloves on, let's go at it. And no major injuries there, but
good thing.
Yeah, but we started kind of rolling around and throwing some gloves on, and then we started kind of digging. And we found a gym out of Homa, and actually signed up, just went for it.
Yeah.
Started doing some jiu-jitsu classes, some open mats and stuff like that. And from the second I stepped on the mat, I was hooked.
You were in love with it?
Absolutely. It was
just a different feeling, huh?
It was one of those things, like you do it, and it's like that feeling, like I think that like Jesus gives you when he's like, this is where I want you to be right now.
Yeah, you're calling almost.
So as soon as that happened, I was really on the wave of like, man, I really just want to go full bore into this. Attack it from every avenue I can. So what I did to kind of satisfy that want in my head was I just dropped everything. The baseball season was about to ramp up. I went and talked to the coach. I said, hey, my heart's not in this anymore. I want to do, these combat sports, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that, kickboxing, all that good stuff. And the rest was history. I went home that day, put my bags down, looked at my mom and dad, and I was like, hey, I quit everything today. And they were like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, no warning, no nothing. And I was like, yeah, like this is what I want to do. And they're, being parents, didn't know what that was, and they only see like the
aggressive side.
Your ears are going to get messed up. You're going to get concussed. You're going to do all this. Like, you're going to get injured. And like, that's going to cost us a fortune and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like, how can you just quit baseball? Like, you loved it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. So the bargain was like, okay, you can do what you want to do, but like, you have to finance it. So that ran into another list of like issues at the time.
Because you're in high school.
Yeah, I'm in high school. Workload, whatever it was at E.D. White and all, and this is where it gets super cool because I'd always been in the mix of, incorporating Jesus in my life through various people who really poured into me at a young age and stuff like that. And man, it was scraping by to make the payments. Not that they were a ton, but at the time.
For a student it is. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but I actually went to a session at the place. Yeah.
Next Generation Martial Arts,
and
that's
I mean, as a college student still, it was expensive.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the main reasons why I decided not to go back was because I'm I really can't add this to another finance.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. It was expensive at the time. And, at the time I wasn't didn't have a job because I was let's see, I was either a sophomore or a junior in high school.
Yeah. You're 17 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. Just started driving, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But man, like I said, the first time I stepped on the mats, it was I had this feeling I knew I was supposed to be there. And then I got to know Scotty, the owner, and some of the guys, and man, the way they poured into me as a kid who, if I backtrack a little bit, growing up, I just had anger issues, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I was, a nice kid, but very to myself at times, kind of distant from my family for different reasons in my own right. But man, just had a ton of insecurities, cooped up anger, we all have, but at that time you think you're the only one struggling with stuff like that. But man, a ton of self-doubt, a ton of just not thinking I was ever enough, not thinking who I thought I was, and stuff like that. And that's why when I felt that feeling of man, this might be it, this is something.
You finally felt like you belonged somewhere almost.
Yes, exactly. Because I was on the baseball team, but I wasn't a standout star player. I was athletic, and I could get the job done, but I didn't feel I was bringing to the table what I would have liked to. And it wasn't for lack of effort. I practiced as much as I could, and I just, I'm not afraid to admit, or not too prideful to admit, I just wasn't that good of a baseball player. It is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I got to jiu-jitsu, that changed a lot, because it came, I think, a little more natural to me than some others. But I think that passion behind it fueled it. And then seeing how Scotty and some of the other guys in the gym at the time carried themselves, I just admired it, because they were so stoic and humble, but so capable. Some of the most dangerous people in a good way. Not they would never harm a fly. It would take a lot to push them over the edge. But just the way they carried themselves was something I knew I wanted to emulate. I'd never seen anything like that.
Just kind of having a balance of don't mess with me, don't push my buttons, but at the same time you'll never see that side because they're just such a humble person about it. In my head, the definition of what a man should be. Right.
You know what I mean? Strong, capable,
humble,
can wield the sword, but chooses not to, type of deal. And then, I'm going through that, quit everything, trying to find the money for it. And dude, it was going back to, I just felt like a godsend. Every time that payment came up, somehow, some way, I stayed in prayer for it, and it came up. There was one time I was out of money I had saved up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I depleted.
I've understood that, bro.
Yeah, I had depleted everything that I had money wise at the time. Because like I said, I'm not working to make these payments and all. And I'm all right, I'm out. This month, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And looking back now, Scotty's my brother now, so it's it probably wouldn't have been a big deal at all. But I really got on my knees and just said, Lord, please just help me figure this one out. I want to keep doing this. I know this is where I'm supposed to be. I know this is where you're leading me to be. But just give me an opportunity to, make this one. Right. And literally the same day, I get a phone call. Hey, you want to come do my flower beds and cut my grass and all that stuff? Yeah, sure, of course. Not thinking it was going to be enough to cover it. And she handed me the exact amount to the penny. without knowing that that was a situation that I needed for that month.
I mean, if that ain't divine, I don't know what
exactly.
it is.
And then like more and more scenarios like that kept happening. And then, man, I get into jiu-jitsu, I'm like, my whole outlook on everything changes. Because, like, although I was, like, you know, young, I was doing CrossFit at the time, like, I was athletic as you could be as a teenager, I feel like, at least with my build and everything like that. And, you know, it didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I still got crushed for 2-3 years before I felt like I had a kind of an idea of what was going on.
But I can get that. That first time I went, that one time I went, it was very humbling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not like they're like, you know, holding you on the ground, beating you up. It's more of like you know, you're exerting all this energy. They're using leverage and control and pressure to like, you're just going to burn yourself out, and then you're just going to be like a noodle just floating in the air, and they're just going to do what they want. And it was awesome, man, because you learn how to control those emotions, and you learn how to stay calm in really hard scenarios, and that just bridges directly over to life.
Right.
So all that
connection.
Yeah. So all that anger I had was like I could feel it getting weaned out of me. Because like if I was like having just one of those days where I'm just like, you know, mad at the world, teenager, think I have all the problems, but you know, small problems compared to most. You know?
Yeah.
I'd go train, and it was literally, dude, I was just leveled, like completely leveled, bliss, like, and then I had something to focus on, something to pour into. And I never did it, like, if you look at some of my stuff on social media and all, like, I never posted much about it, or I made an effort not to, because I never wanted to be that guy, like, you know, I'm the jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
I'm the MMA guy. I'm the this to that. I wanted no one to know about it besides, like, the people who were just close to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure people knew, but, like, it wasn't like I didn't go to parties like, oh, like, you know.
I can kick your ass like I do jiu-jitsu.
No, that's dumb. It's
I'm
really
not going to say the word I want to say, but
it's really, really dumb because, like, a lot of people think they're bad until they get in a real situation that's like, okay, like, you know, that guy has a knife.
Yeah.
That guy has a broken bottle. That guy, you know, is going to get 6 of his buddies.
Let's see how hard you are now.
Let's see how hard you are now. And that, you know, that can get out of hand rather quickly. But learning that self-control throughout the years, dealing with injuries, adversity, the whole nine, I think one of the biggest things you figure out through jiu-jitsu is how to stay calm when everything's going wrong. So when someone's on your back choking you, or when someone's, you know, got your arm extended, about to break your arm, whatever, you learn how to problem solve in chaotic environments. And that, I mean, that's worth its weight in gold to me, especially in the world we live in now. So, like, now when things happen, you know, my fiance gets on me sometimes. She's like, you know, you get upset at, like, the things that are, like, not big issues, but the things that, like, you should be, like, super freaking out about. You're just, like, chill as a cucumber. And I directly attribute that to, you know, Proverbs and jiu-jitsu. So
what a great combo.
Yeah. So kind of moving into like some tournaments and injuries and stuff. Jiu-jitsu's going great at the time for the first, you know, probably, actually, I'm forgetting a big chunk. So that's a good one.
Okay.
I haven't thought about this stuff in a while. So
bringing back memories.
Golly, like a suppressed one. It's like actually a big deal. So remember how I said, you know, my parents were like, you're going to get hurt, all that stuff. Yeah. Probably about 2 months in, I'm at a kickboxing class and I'm sparring with one of the instructors, and no fault to him. Like, it was, you know, a freak accident. It happens. We were sparring and stuff, and he went for like a takedown from like a standing position, and it was kind of like our legs got entangled a little bit, and he like went for a takedown, kind of throwing me over like his hip per se, and my foot like just so happened to hook around his leg like this, and when I went down, my kneecap completely dislocated. It was like over here. Yeah, it was crazy. I'd never seen nothing like that, and I'm just like looking at
all the adrenaline going through your body.
I felt like I didn't feel any pain. Like, I was just like, that's not supposed to look like that. And then like I straightened my leg out, and it comes back, and I'm just like,
my parents are gonna kill me.
Yeah, and Connor's with me, thank God. Yeah, and because he did it for a little while before, you know, graduating and stuff. And my knee is just, dude, like, it's just swelling. And, like, the size of a small watermelon by the time we finished the sessions. I took the rest of the session off.
Yeah, obviously.
Connor brings me home, and, you know, he's got me, like, an arm over my shoulder, and my parents are very upset with me because they knew this was going to happen.
I told you so it's coming in.
Yeah. But, man, like, even then, there was never an out to quit.
Yeah.
Ever. And
all you were thinking about was going back.
Yeah. Going back for more. Because I knew that was where I was supposed to be. And I knew, like, you know, I looked at Scotty and I looked at the guys. And it was weird because that same voice that said, I want you to be here. So, like, Scotty's running the jiu-jitsu class right here. And there's a kickboxing class right here.
Mm-hmm.
Connor wanted to do the kickboxing class. And I was like, man, I just feel like I want to do jiu-jitsu tonight. You know, something was telling me you need to, like, I was looking at Scotty and them rolling around and stuff. I'm like, I feel like that's where I should go tonight. And I didn't listen to it. And I got injured. Yeah. Not to say that it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. But, no, I get what you're saying, for sure.
And then, man, like, from that injury, like, it was like God was taking me through a deeper journey because he was like, you know, I put you in this position. I gave you this gift, but you forgot about me. Because once I started getting stabilized, you know, I didn't rely on him as much
as you should have.
As I should have. And that happened. I mean, I was out.
Yeah.
You know, I was out for a considerable amount of time. Went to, you know, the orthopedic docs, got some scans done. You know, no major ligaments torn, just dislocated my patella. So there was like a laxity at the time and stuff. And I went back to jiu-jitsu, but not to train. I just went to watch.
Yeah. So you just wanted to be in that environment, huh?
Wanted to be in that environment, and I, like, took notes and stuff. Like, at the time, I was obsessed. Like, eat, sleep, breathe, YouTube videos, the whole nine. I think it's something, like, a lot of people get into and kind of phase out of over time, but I just knew there was something there for me that I needed to be there for. You know, didn't know what it was yet. Now, I think I have a good handle on what it is now.
I think you know.
But, going through that every day that I could make it, you know, get off of school, drive to jiu-jitsu, watch the class every day. And as, you know, I got better, I started working my way on the mats, going slow. And the gym's not big at this point. It's only a handful of us.
Yeah.
You know, because Scotty had just moved to Thibodaux to open the gym and stuff, and now it's grown to something really special. But every day, and then eventually, you know, get back on the mats and train for a while. I'm trying to think. Okay. Yeah. Next one.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make sure these events are in order.
You're
right?
good.
And then I went to, let's see. Yeah. This was a few years later. My knee's, like, good but kind of unstable because I hadn't, like, really jumped into weight training yet. Like, I had weight trained, but not, like, significantly like I should have to really get strong, right? And to really make my joints, like, you know, durable. And let's see, I took so at the time I was competing here and there, not a crazy amount like some people do, but enough to, you know, kind of have an idea of where I'm at, where I fall at, like, the blue belt level and stuff like that.
Now, do you have to, like, compete in order to get your belts, or is it just through, like, I
think some schools use that philosophy, but we don't.
Okay.
For us, it's, you know, a combination of things, and now it's to the point where the upper belts also have a say. It's not just Scotty. So, like, he'll come to us and be like, hey, Magooey's up for promotion or something like that. What do you think? Like, where do you think he lacks in, or where do you think, like, he needs work, or do you think he's even ready for this belt? And we'll all give our inputs, you know. But some schools, like, oh, you win this many competitions, here's your blue belt. And our philosophy is more like, you know, can you control yourself when things get hard? Can you hold position in this area? Are you cool, calm, and collected when, you know, you train with a new person that you know that you can get the better of? Do you just crush them because you were crushed or something like that? Or are you cool with them and try to, like, teach them? You know, because the big thing is self-control and being humble. You know, like, there's a saying, I believe, in Proverbs, it's like, a man who lacks self-control is like a city infiltrated and without walls or something. I might be botching that a little bit, but it's like
it's something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that just runs really deep. And so there's a bunch of standards to meet, but to answer your question, it depends on the instructor, the school, the philosophy of that school. Because we're not a sport-oriented school. We're more of like protect your family. We still do great in tournaments, but that's not like our goal per se.
Yeah.
But, I'm training up, blue belt level. So the belts in jiu-jitsu are white, blue, purple, brown, black. And each belt is roughly about a 2-year mark before you get them. I got my blue belt very fast because I was just a maniac about training in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think I got it in like maybe a year or something like that. A year and a month or something like that. Because I was just there so much. I was there so much and I was young, athletic, so I had a lot of attributes on my side. Joined this tournament in Lafayette on like a 2-day notice in a cage and blow my knee out again. Same one. In like a similar way.
Same way?
Yeah. Similar way. Not the exact same, but I don't even remember how it happened, but it did. Really bad again. So go through the whole PT again, go through everything. And Dr. Elias was like, yeah, dude, if you do this again, we have to fix it. Like, you can keep rehabbing it, but your knee is just unstable. I didn't listen. I'm young at the time.
Yeah.
Fast forward a few years, go snowboarding, and I'm snowboarding down the mountain, kind of hole and tail, and this woman and child kind of are coming off a run, coming in front of me, and I'm like screaming, on your right, like rolling, because I can move, but not enough.
Yeah, it's harder for snowboarding. I'm a skier, but snowboarding.
Not enough in time to like not compromise myself or people moving around me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if I hit them, they're going to be seriously hurt.
Yeah.
So I like really whip my board around. Like I send a cloud over them, all that stuff. And in that transition of me, like,
that's a hard turn.
Yeah. So. Like really like just like pushing everything I had to stop. And I'm like skipping, like the whole deal. And I feel it go again. And I'm like pretty high up in the mountain. So I'm literally just sitting there. And they just like they just.
Oh, they didn't even ask.
No, they just keep going, and like I'm sitting there like this is day 2 of a 7-day trip, and I'm cooked.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm absolutely cooked. So I'm sitting there. I'm on the mountain, and I look down, and you see like the ski patrol, all that stuff, and I'm like, I'm not calling them. I'm just gonna be.
Tough guy.
Yeah, I'm a tough guy. Yeah. Like I would just go hillside down the whole mountain, which is a terrible idea, and hurt like crazy. And then I called my PT at the time, and he's like, you already blew it out. Wrap it up and just blow it out. We'll fix it when you get back. So I'm like, Roger that. So give it a day to rest, wrap it up, and just hit back on the slopes. But
that had to hurt the rest of the trip.
Very much so. Very much so. I couldn't go most of the day. I'd do like a few hours and then just go chill, but wanted to make the most out of it. That was a little tangent. But anyway, blew it out again. Then, it was like, okay, time to have the surgery. And at this time, I'm finishing up undergrad at Nichols. So we've kind of went over a few years at this point. And, I really got my eyes set on chiro school at the time. Because when I first started college, I was psychology pre-med.
Okay.
Didn't know that I was double majoring. They just threw me in there.
Oh, really?
100%. And so I'm like looking around like, why are my classes so hard compared to everyone? Like everyone's like chilling, They had a few of our buddies that were like pre-med stuff, so they were kind of going through it.
Yeah, the pre-med's hard.
Yeah, nursing, stuff like that. I'm like, man, like, I feel like my course load's like way more than everyone. And then I go check and like, oh yeah, you're actually double majoring in psychology and pre-med. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
since when?
Yeah. So then I was like, well, look, I'm going to just stick with psych for a little while because I really I think going through martial arts, you're really in your mind.
It's a lot of psychology.
It's a lot of mental. And so going through that, and then I just go to the psych courses and all and liking them, getting through the program. Mm-hmm. And then I go on this vacation, with some family friends. We're playing beach volleyball, and I dive for a ball. Like, I just want to, getting aggressive with it. I dive for a ball.
It's beach volleyball.
Yeah, it's beach volleyball. You got to win.
Yeah. It gets intense.
It does. And if you know the Magooies, I was playing with them, so.
Thomas.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn it.
Playing with him, so all of them. So we're going at it.
All competitive.
100%. And those are my brothers growing up. So like I grew up with them every weekend. So I've fist fought all of them multiple times throughout the years. Won some, lost some.
And they're all competitive, 1 through 3. All
100%, all of them. So we're playing, and I dive for a ball, and I land really weird, dude. Like on my I can't even really replicate it, but my head stuck like this, and I got numbness and tingling shooting down my arms. I cannot move. Like, I can't turn my head. I got, like, that Batman posture, like, turning like this, And I'm kind of freaking out.
Yeah, I'm like anyone else would.
Yeah, I'm young at the time. Sure. Don't know what I need to do. And then Joe and them's dad bring me, because they had been, going to chiropractors for a while. I'd never been to one, never really heard of one.
Yeah.
And I went to... They brought me somewhere in Florida, some dude, and in a lot of pain, going through it, whatnot. And then I go in. They finally figure out what's wrong. They tell me I have like a pinched nerve, all this kind of stuff, or what they thought it was at the time. They did a few things, adjusted me, did some muscle work, made me do what I could exercise-wise and all. Mm-hmm. And I walked out of there fine.
Wow.
And 100%.
And that's crazy because that seems like such a serious thing.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm young at the time, freaking out. So that kind of planted a seed.
Mm-hmm. That interest.
Another, I think, divine intervention that did not feel like one at the time.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah. But, so you're doing that. And then I'm going to go back to school, whatnot, going through the psych courses and all. Liked them, but I had this moment where I'm sitting there and, I got the timeline mixed up. That happened before the last knee injury. Yeah. So then I go back to school, injure my knee, sitting in the psych class with this huge brace on, knee locked straight, crutches, crutching around the whole 9, I'm sitting in the class and I just look around. I'm like, man, I feel like I don't belong. Like, I feel like I don't belong here. Not that I'm like trying to fit into this group of people, but something's telling me this is not my path, So on a whim, pray about it again. And then the word, chiropractor kept popping up in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Screw it.
That's what you...
I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
He was there for me before. He's going to be there for me again. And, start shadowing some, like what they do. I've also been a PT a lot, so I liked what PTs did as well. Mm-hmm. They play a super important role just as much as chiros do. And, I switched over to Allied Health, finished that up with a minor in psych, and applied for chiro school, got in, everything like that, and I did very well in undergrad. And then now, next thing I know, I'm going to chiro school. But the kicker was, I just had that surgery on my knee to fix it, reconstruction, all that stuff, get it right. And Dr. Elias was like, man, I feel like you got a new knee. And it 100% did once I got it all checked out. But it was a 9-month recovery, and I had 6 months until chiro school. Oh. So I had to dig. I had to, every day, I was going to PT 3 times a week, working with Lee Cortez, fantastic physical therapist, talk to me what do you need to do? And I told him. He's like, well, where do you want to be when we finish? And me just being messing with it at the time. Yeah. I pulled up that video of Alvin Kamara doing his PT. He's all crazy, and he's like, okay, look, you're not gonna be there. Yeah, you're not Alvin Kamara. Chill out. Yeah. But no, all jokes aside, he got me where I needed to be in that time frame. We both worked really hard, did my homework, and I checked into chiro school in January, I think 22. And
where at?
In Pasadena, Texas.
Okay.
Texas Chiropractic College. And man, that was a whole journey of its own, because it's I wouldn't have been able to I wouldn't have been the person I needed to be had I not gone through the things I went through with jiu-jitsu, gone through the things I went through with those injuries. Because during those injuries, I had to dial back. I had to relook at myself a lot.
Yeah.
And say, like, you know, I want to get back to this, but am I missing something? And all these times I look back now and it's like the Lord's pulling the sheet from the table and saying, like, you're not in control. Like, I am, you know? And, like, every time you drift into this, you don't need me anymore because you're, you know, scaling up in life.
You always get humbled.
100%. It's like those, those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. It's in the book of Luke, so I believe so, yeah. And we'll fact check that later.
Yeah, we'll fact check it later on the edit.
But, yeah, so get through that, and, man, looking back now, like, another thing, too, I'm just going to add this in the element because it kind of just gives depth a little bit. Started dating my now fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Like, literally a few weeks before I left for Texas.
Okay.
So we didn't know, you know, we were both very honest with ourselves. Like, we liked each other a ton. But at the same time, we're like, look, we're going to do what we can to make this work, but you are moving 5 hours away.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll do what we can, see how it goes. And we were both super nervous about it because, like, another one of those things, you know, the moment I hung out with her for the first time.
You just knew.
All we did on our first date was literally lay on the floor in her living room and listen to music. And, like, say, oh, you
what
heard?
Type of music?
Oh, dude, it was a bunch of different stuff. It went from, like some Millennium songs, Alice in Wonderland, let's see, some rock songs. Like, dude, it was like all genres.
A little tad of everything.
A little bit of everything, and like we just completely vibed off of that, and I think we both knew right away.
I think music's a great way to start too, because you know music taste says a lot about a person in a
100%,
way. So
100%, and it was like, you know, that's a whole separate story. We had always been like near each other, around each other, and always kind of, I think, knew something was there, but never acted on it out of respect for one another. But that was like a whole another separate element. Yeah. So I get to chiro school, and along this process, Carter Bourgeois.
Yeah.
He decided to join me. You know, he had his own journey through that, and I kind of put that. I like to say I put that bug in his ear, but I think he already kind of had it too. I don't know, but
you helped.
I definitely influenced, but like he made his own choice. But he ended up coming to chiro school, or we went together, I should say. So that was huge, having a buddy there. Like,
that's always nice.
Carter's one of my best friends throughout my whole life. And so we went together. And like I said, a lot of things going on. My knees sort of back in shape. I think I was a purple belt in jiu-jitsu at the time, so I'd scaled up a little bit, you know, really starting to understand it. But a purple belt in jiu-jitsu to me, and how Scotty described it to me, it's like you're a super venomous snake, but you have no idea how to use your venom.
Bar.
100%.
Bar.
Yeah, so like you know, you have all this venom, you can do all these crazy things, but you don't know how to apply it.
Yeah.
Very true. And so like I'm at a good point, you know, athletically, mentally, trying to balance, like, you know, going to a professional school, doing really well in undergrad. So the pressure's on because, like, I walked into chiro school thinking I'm going to do, like, this is going to, you know, I'm going to crush this, you know, like, you know, I've been through hardships, like, physically I'm good, like, all this stuff, mentally I'm good. And, dude, it was a different beast entirely. Like,
so I've heard. Yeah,
definitely. Because the thing about chiro school that I think really differs from physical therapy school, because I was really considering that too. You know, I had a lot of stuff in order to apply to that, but the chiro route just seemed a little bit more appealing to me, just because of, personally, I think you have a little bit more like autonomy to kind of not be so under the umbrella of, you know, different individuals that are, like, whether it be like a, you know, MD or a hospital or this or that. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know?
No, it's just what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the path I wanted to take.
Yeah.
And so we're going through that, and yeah, man, we get there, and I remember, man, like first week, I was like, whoa, like,
you're in for something.
This is a lot, like, because the difference between back to what I was just saying, the two schools is PT school is very difficult to get into. You know, you have to get all these referrals, make these certain scores, or I'm not really sure of the process now, but when I was applying, it was a very difficult process. And chiro school, man, you apply, you get your prereqs, they let you in.
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't tell you is that this is a professional program. And if you look at the beginning curriculum of medical school and the beginning curriculum of chiro school, they're very similar.
Yeah.
You know? And we started out with, I think, 45 in the beginning. And I think after probably the first year or maybe the first half year, we were down to like 26. So
crazy.
Almost a
half
50% attrition rate. And yeah, man, it was a grind. Like, I remember multiple days, I started out, I mean, I ain't afraid to say it, started out with a scholarship because I did super good in undergrad and whatnot. And, I was going home a lot on the weekends to make it work with Rylan and trying to wake up early in the morning and study. And the study habits I had in undergrad didn't translate well to that, because that's a different beast and you had to attack it from a different perspective. I was solid in anatomy, but some of the courses like histology and some of the stuff I couldn't put my hands on and see, man, those gave me a run for my money.
Yeah.
And I was backed against the ropes, but like that's where the jiu-jitsu came into play. So many times in so many roles, tournaments, whatever it was, I was in tough spots and things were getting chaotic. And like,
gotta stay cool as a cucumber.
Cool as a cucumber, man. And yeah, backed against the ropes. I remember I was struggling in one class in particular and just trying to like make sure not only that I passed it, but I wanted to really keep a B in the class.
Yeah.
And the study, dude, I locked myself in my room. And I could have Carter attest to this. From Friday to Sunday evening, all day, all night, hammering, studying. I was like foaming at the mouth of all the information pouring out of me. And I went there and I missed the B by 1 point. Did good on the test, but I needed to make like a 97 or something like that. And I made like a 95, 96, something like that. And it crushed me.
Yeah. All you thought about was that one.
Man, it was that perfect moment of like, but at the same time, I went in with the mindset of I poured myself completely into this.
Yeah. Like there's nothing else you could do.
There was no stone unturned. And I went in and I was like okay with it, but still had that chip on my shoulder. Because at the same time, those moments, like they might not seem like a lot, but they bring out those like little insecurities that you deal with that I was kind of talking about growing up. Like that, man,
I'm not made for this. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. Am I really who I think I am? Stuff like that. Am I really, cut out for this? Like, yeah, you were this person in undergrad, you did all this, but again, slice of humble pie.
I mean, my stuff isn't even close to like a med school type of stuff, but I've spent like a whole weekend studying. We write like 10-page papers all the time. We got to do projects. Like I've gotten out of bed at 3 a.m. and worked till the sunrise. Like I definitely understand. So yeah, kudos to you, man, for sure. Kudos to you.
Kudos to you. Kudos to anyone who goes through anything difficult and just puts their head down and go. Yeah. Because at the time, before I went to chiro school, I was really considering the military. Okay. And sometimes I still, like, kind of, want to smack myself because, like, I look at that stuff and there's a ton of Marines and ton of like, veterans in the gym that train with us. Super awesome people. Have seen it all, And it just really felt like that was something I definitely could have poured myself into. And they were all pushing for it. And,
which branch?
So I was thinking Marines, and I was also thinking the Navy for a select group.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to say.
It's easy to say.
You know, I want to go be a Navy SEAL, but it's a very difficult thing to attain. Like, and those guys are definitely a different breed of humans. You know,
they really are.
All of them. You know.
Yeah, whatever branch.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like but that's always something that I feel like could have been in my wheelhouse but then I realized I wasn't doing it I didn't want to do it out of an act of like service. I wanted the skill set.
Yeah. So your why really wasn't there.
The right why wasn't there. Because like with jiu-jitsu, like yes, you obtain this skill set. And jiu-jitsu, especially with Scotty and them, like it wasn't just like, you know, grappling and stuff. Like we're doing stand-up, we're doing fighting against the wall, we're doing like knife defense stuff. Like we're shooting, act like we go on the weekends and we go shoot and stuff. So like it's a combination of things, like making a well-rounded individual.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that was like the logical next step. But at the same time, you know, I had this chiro school bug in my ear. You know, kind of already done everything for that. I had these injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Was confused.
It would have been tough with that injury.
Exactly. Because if they see that, they're like, why did we take the chance on you? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't at the time, like looking back now, in the shape that I think I'm in now, that where I could actually handle that. Because like earlier we were talking about, I think off camera, like I don't like running. And they run a lot.
Oh, yeah, they do.
That's like a huge component. So I'd have definitely had to learn or adapt quickly. But moving back into chiro school, like Carter and I checked in, you know, realized we had our work cut out for us. And, man, I can't tell you how many nights just, you know, 8 to 6. It's like a job, you know, 8 to 6. You go in the morning, all day you're getting lectured at, all this kind of stuff. You go into lab. Like anatomy lab, and you're dissecting, you know, you got to dissect it well because you get tested on your body and everyone else's body and stuff like that. Yeah. So if you just go in there and just botch everything, you're screwing yourself and your classmates. And at this time, from being with the team at the jiu-jitsu gym, you know, something that Scotty and the gym, we all like really try to hammer down is like, you know better than the individual next to you, and how you carry yourself if you represent this gym matters. Yeah. You know what I mean? For the guy next to you. Sacrifice for him. He'll sacrifice for you. We move as a team. You know? Stuff like that.
And that's great, too.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not like something like I think we say directly, but I think it's like an understood thing. Mm-hmm. Like it's like the ethos of the gym, right? Because like we also look at it as like, you know, this is a whole different scenario, but like if something really bad were to happen around this town, like we have like-minded, good individuals that would go out and protect the people around the community, you know, and that's definitely another part of that ethos. But moving back,
you're good.
I take these tangents, man. You just got to bear with me.
The amount of tangents we've had on this podcast, trust me, like you're fine.
I'm trying to like find my line and stay with it. But,
no, you're good.
So, went to chiro school, going through anatomy stuff, and man, like, dude, Carter and I would come home smoked. Like I like to say, like it's like it was one time we came home and I went to my room, take my stuff out to study, and we had been there all day getting smoked, test after test after test, relentless schedule, and I'm driving back and forth from Thibodaux to Houston every weekend.
That's also a major. Yeah.
And Rylan had just started working, so you know she would come up when she could, but it was hard, and I was like, me being, you know, I never want to quit. I want to make this work, all this stuff. We made it work, but it came at a cost, man, like smoked. Like my brain was just Swiss cheese. And I was so stressed and so worked up all the time, I literally developed like a skin condition that I had to get care for and all kind of stuff like that. Okay. And I'm like, you know, I've never had this in my life. You know, we're learning about, you know, you can get this from like post-strep infections and all that, like psoriasis all over my skin and all. And like, yeah, man, my stress levels were super high. And, you know, got back one day, and this is a funny little tangent story. Walk into my room, grab my stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to walk back to Carter's room, like across the apartment or whatever, and to ask him, like, hey, man, like, how are you going to study for this pathology test or whatever? and I see him like face first on the floor, passed out, sleeping.
Yeah, that explains it.
Like completely out. And it's like, we always like to say, it's like, how you feeling right now? He's like, I feel like that monkey with the two cymbals that's just beating them together, and that's like the only thing going on in my head right now.
No, and like, I think I have a friend, she's in school right now for chiropractor, or she's either in that or PT, and like, she literally might get up at 5 a.m. and like you said, like till 6, like they stay in there late, and like it is nonstop. Like she's always got a test, like always something. The dissecting, like they do a lot of like putting the brace on, and like I don't know if that's PT or but
it could be chiro, but it sounds a little bit more like PT.
Yeah, I think it is.
OT
it's
school.
In Texas, like Texas.
Is it Texas Women's?
Yeah,
something. It's probably PT school. Yeah,
but she's nonstop.
Yeah.
So
it's a grind.
Kudos to all of y'all.
Yeah,
I know y'all are a little different, but like.
Yeah, look, man, there's so much overlap between the two fields, and like, we'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, man, nothing but respect.
That's a grind.
Oh yeah, it's a grind to get there, and then it's a grind when you get out, because it ain't handed to you. I can tell you that. You don't want to get in a bad situation, but. We're going through chiro school, and then, I'm looking for multiple ways of motivation. I think this is right around my second or third trimester. So chiro school, at least where I went, it's 10 trimesters. So it's about 3 years and a third total time frame.
Yeah.
A little more than half is like, classroom, practicals. Like you're in like a clinic setting, but it's more like practice. Like it's not like real, like you go in on like mock encounters and stuff like that. And then second half is more like you're in clinic doing your things, under like strict supervision. And we get in, and like, man, like I really adopted this mindset of like, okay, I'm not killing it GPA wise like I was in undergrad. So what can I add to my team? Because Carter and I were blessed with a great class. Like everyone wanted to help each other. Like you do have classes that are a little more like cutthroat and stuff, but we had a good one, man. Like so many great individuals that are doing well for themselves now that just wanted to see the next guy win, and I'm so
not
thankful.
Selfish, yeah.
Oh no, not at all. And it's like, okay, what can I add to this team to make sure everyone wins? Because like I can't do this on my own, and Carter and I help each other and stuff, but like Carter and I both kind of had that mindset of like, let's do whatever we can to help the team win. And the team being our class. So I made sure as much as I could to bring in the most positive attitude I could, even if I was struggling on the inside or in my own right.
Yeah.
To just be that like small flicker of light.
Yeah, that positive light.
Because like the way I see it is like similar to like how the Holy Spirit kind of connects to us when it needs to.
Yeah.
If my flame is dwindling down, or if my team's flame is dwindling down, I could be so high-spirited and so like positive and so filled with passion and drive that I can bring that into that room, and they're going to feed off of that. Just like negativity, except flush it out with positive, Be so positive that like if they're down, it raises their level up. It raises their flame up. And then likewise, whenever I'm down and my flame's like just a little flickering little thing, they can come in and reignite that. Yeah. And then if we both do that, man, like that's a potent mix.
Yeah.
Right? So the team can win, right?
Right.
And so I just adopted that, got my stress under control, prioritized my sleep, my diet, my health, everything like that. Really started kind of leaning into my faith more so than before. Because something happened, like Carter's wife got a job in Houston, and they needed to move closer to Houston for her, and I kind of wanted to stay near school, so like we moved apart. So I was like alone, and some other stuff happened throughout school that just added life stress. Because like,
life happens, man.
Yeah, man. You get into this program and like, you're so focused on school, but at the same time, like life is still lifing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
life is still lifing.
You still got like, finances and different things to handle and all, and trying to keep your student debt under control if that's the route you have to take, which is a whole demon of itself.
Grad school, anything, I understand. Man.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah, man. It sucks, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I call it. You're just really taking a gamble on yourself. Like
100%.
you get in this debt, but like you also got to tell yourself, like I believe in myself so much. Like I know this paying this back will not only be worth it, but like it's gonna be easy, and they're not easy, but like I'm gonna be such a good at this. Like paying this off won't be a sweat.
I know if I bet on me, I won't lose.
Yeah, and that's basically what I tell myself because
you got
like,
to.
Because you got to survive. Like you got to live.
100%. Yeah, you got to eat.
And
you know what I mean?
I think I just came to that realization after this first year. It's like I hate to go off on a tangent, but like I'm a GA, so they pay like probably 3/4 of the tuition. So like if I I'll probably take out like just a little bit to where like I can survive, but like it's still a little tight. And this summer was definitely a big lesson. So this upcoming semester, I'm definitely gonna take some more so I can live. I kindly like after reflecting, I was like, you know, like I'm betting on myself, and like if there's anyone I believe in, like it is me. So
amen.
Yeah.
I believe in you too, bro.
I appreciate that.
You too, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So going through that, we move apart. I think this was right after our first year. Yeah. So now, you know, it was cool having, you know, Carter and Ellie to live with because, like, you know, when we were all going through it, like, you know, we'd chill with each other, find some way to relax or whatever. Rather than come over, we'd have a great time in Houston, whatever it was. And we moved apart, man, and like I was by myself in that apartment, and it was great because, like, you know, the silence and all. But dude, sometimes quiet gets a little too quiet, right? And
negative thoughts too.
Boom, negative thoughts, like the self-doubts return, all that stuff. And you know, I'm away from Ryland. School's getting easier but harder because, like, you adapt. Like, as the program gets harder, you also get better as a student, and you learn to adapt. Your study skills start to stick, and you figure out what works for you. So, doing a lot better in school, all that stuff. I never did bad, but, like, you know, I wasn't in, like, the, you know, 4.0 range that I wanted to be. And not that that's, like, the most crazy important thing because, like, Go ahead. I know what you're about to say.
I'm the same way. Like I have a 4.0 right now, and like I'm kind of pushing it in the summer class, but like, and I always try and tell myself like, when you go work somewhere, like when you start your own place, they don't look at your transcript and like, okay, he got a B. He doesn't have a 4.0, but like it's that chase.
Yes. So it's the knowing you left everything on the floor, on the court, whatever it is, in the classroom, because your name's attached to it, you gave it all you had, right?
Exactly.
And I had to come to the realization, I felt like I had to choose. Do I want to crush school and study myself into insanity? Or do I want to be a great boyfriend for Ryland, a great stepdad for Brody, a great son to my family, a mentor in the gym, whatever it was, like a good teammate for my team or my class, my chiro class, like, and I made that choice, and most of all, like, a good disciple to Jesus, because, like, you know, he was the only thing getting me through all that. So I moved by myself, and it was cool for different reasons and sucked for other ones, but man, every night to get the noise to stop in my head of everything going on, every night I would read my Bible before bed, pray, and it was literally like a calm would wash over me, and I'd sleep so peacefully. Like,
that's awesome.
It's crazy, man. I'd read, you know, a chapter of like one of the Gospels, mainly Matthew, and then a proverb every night, and then have some kind of personal prayer I pray.
I'm more of a Psalms guy.
Psalms is great. Yeah. I've done.
They drop bars in Psalms.
They do. I'm in Acts right now.
Good story.
Yeah, it's really good. But see, Proverbs is, I think, where I'm at. Like, I love Proverbs because it's like stoic and you really got to study it.
Yeah.
But I dove into that, and then going through chiro school, getting through the motions, you know, doing good, and I really started to shine. And I knew this was, you know, going to happen I really started to shine in like the in-person practicals, like ortho, the sport-related classes, all that stuff, and less of like the heavy science and more of like the hands-on clinical stuff.
Yeah.
So I connected well with people and stuff like that because I bartended for years,
skills, yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And we're going through that, and then, man, like, we get to this point where, you know, me and my family, Rylan and Brody, we decided to get water baptized together. So, like, you know, I was born Catholic, baptized, but as I came to my faith, I realized, like, you know, I kind of pulled away from the Catholic faith, I think a little after high school, you know, kind of fell off with it.
Yeah.
And not that there's anything wrong with it, I just, you know, it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Life happens.
Life happens, yeah. And came back, you know, more of like going into the Bible and trying to decipher it for myself, trying out a few different churches, like Christian churches, like non-denominational stuff, and felt like that was more where I belonged. Not because it was like what I wanted to hear, but because it, you know, I really dove into my Bible and found that it just resonated with me and helped me draw closer to God, which I think is the most important thing, regardless of like
what exactly
what lineage you follow. It's like, do you believe that Jesus was the true Son of God, came down, was made man, you know, died on the cross and was resurrected to save us from sin and ascended into heaven on the third day? And the Bible literally says, if you believe that with all of your heart and all of your soul, you will be saved.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's a few more things.
Yeah, you can't just believe
you
that.
You can't just like say, oh, like, yes, I believe in, like, you know, the plan of salvation and stuff like that, and then, you know, I'm good to go. I can do whatever I want. Like, I'm saved. Like, I can do it. That's not it. Once you carry that cross, well, let me get back to the baptism. I had a mindset going into that baptism where I got water baptized at 25 years old.
Okay.
When this version of myself goes into that water, he drowns. And when the new one comes up, he's a born-again Christian. I'm leaving the sins of lust. I'm leaving the sins of pride, ego, envy, all the bad ones, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm leaving all that behind. Not that it's going to be, like, gone from me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to actively choose not to be that person anymore.
To turn away from that.
Get away from that anger. Get away from all that stuff. And, dude, like, when I came out of that water, it was, like, one of the purest I've felt in my life.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how was that moment?
It was like I was floating. It was like I was covered in the Holy Spirit, and like I cannot even begin to replicate or try to say what that feels like.
You can't even describe it.
Like I'm like kind of shaking just talking about it. like it's crazy.
Yeah,
you can't describe it.
You really can't, and that's great.
Yeah.
But so by this time you got to be almost done with school. So what was kind of like that next step? Because obviously I'm sure you wanted to get closer to home. Because, I mean, it doesn't really seem like you wanted to make Texas like the spot. Like that was just kind of like where you got the school done. Yeah. So where was like that transition like going back home?
So get through school or nearing the end of school. Well, I'm going to go a little bit into the clinic time at school. I think it's important for the transition. I'd adopted this mindset of like, and it's a saying I got from somewhere, but man, it's probably one of my favorite sayings, is consistency compounds and no one tells you when.
Yeah.
Super powerful. Like, bar.
Bar.
But, so I adopted that mindset, and it's so true. You think about it, like, if you just show up at jiu-jitsu and give a lot of, like, yourself to it, like, don't just show up and just go through the motions. Like, show up with intensity at the gym, building a podcast, building a business, you know, in your faith. Consistency compounds and no one tells you when. So I'm going through school thinking I'm like kind of the underdog of the class. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not the underdog, like the less than average guy. Even though I'm killing it on stuff that a lot of people are struggling on, I still felt like, man, like, am I really smart enough to have the title doctor and stuff like that?
There's always like that self-doubt a little bit. Maybe not doubt, but like that chip on your shoulder, like you said earlier.
1,000%. Am I who I say I am?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we get to that. Going through, you know, clinics going great, all that stuff. Get to my, like, preceptorships and internships, and that's kind of where you, like, branch off from the school and you go with different docs. And at this point in time, you know, I'm nearing the end. Kind of like you said, Texas wasn't home. I wanted to be closer to Raleigh, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we branch out, and I'm back in St. Francisville with Dr. Travis Links, who, if you're in the St. Francisville, Baton Rouge area, he's the guy.
Shout him out.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
But I had a bunch of job offers at this time, man. Like, because throughout school, I'd shadowed a lot, got my name out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people liked the ideas I had and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to work with the people in St. Francisville. And another shout out to Dr. Links. He was one of the ones, you know, and Scotty and some other individuals close to me. You know, he was like, dude, you got all the goods. Go do your own thing. You know, because mysteriously, this is where it gets, man, this is the cool part.
Yeah.
I like this part. Have all these job offers. I think it was like 4 or 5 of them.
Which is a lot to handle.
And I'm praying to God, like, to show me which one I'm meant to be on. Mm-hmm. And I always knew I wanted to own my own thing, but didn't know if that was going to be the case, you know, eventually. Because, you know, you want to, like, go get some experience and then go do this, whatever.
Understandable, for sure.
I go in, praying like crazy, going through the motions in St. Francisville, like helping out with the clinic, doing the things that I can do. And mysteriously, dude, they all start falling out. Weird reasons. Like, we hired someone else because we needed them now.
Yeah.
Sorry, man, like the numbers are just not checking out anymore. I'm, you know, going through a divorce or something like that. Can't do it. Or like, you know, I can't pay you what I think you're worth, all this kind of stuff. And so now I'm like freaking out.
Yeah.
Like
all those 5 offers you just had.
I'm a month away from graduating.
Yeah.
And I got nothing on the table, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in student debt, want to, you know, have a life with Ryland, got to be able to pay the bills, stuff like that. So I'm already considering like, okay, do I like, you know, start cutting grass on the weekends or do some side hustles while I figure it out? And then, dude, I started praying like crazy. Dropped to my knees at night, started praying, and I get a phone call the next morning. Like I'm walking into the clinic in St. Francisville praying to myself. And I get a phone call from Dr. Jennings at Jennings Chiropractic Clinic, where I'm at now in Thibodaux.
Mm-hmm.
Offers me, I can't go into the details of the offer, just contract and stuff like that in respect for him, but offered me something that is literally unheard of. Like,
not for someone just starting off.
Yes. A deal that like you can't, and I ran it by a few colleagues because I went to do some certifications through school in different states and stuff like that to like kind of be different as a chiropractor. And man, like offered me something, and I remember telling Dr. Links about that, and he doesn't like really like, he gets excited, but like he's pretty calm in his own right.
And he heard that.
And he was like, dude, because I ran it by him because he's like another mentor of mine. He's like, dude, you better jump on that right now. Like, get that in writing right now.
Yeah.
And like,
made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
Yeah, like all that kind of stuff. So then I go back to because I was staying with some family friends in St. Francisville.
Mm-hmm.
You know, super grateful, still praying through that gratitude because that's another huge thing.
Yeah.
And I walk out of the room that I'm staying in. It was the people's son's room who had moved out, stuff like that. And on top of the room, I see Jeremiah 20:11. Greater the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and for you to do well. You know, that verse. And I like, dude, I was like shaking. Yeah. Like, I was like, that's a good one. This is crazy. Like, because all that just happened. And I walked out, and I'd been staying there for weeks, dude. And like,
you never noticed it.
I'm a pretty observant person. Yeah. Like, you know, with jiu-jitsu, you kind of gain that like proprioception, that situational awareness type deal after years of doing it. And man, I never saw it. Never saw it until exactly when I needed to. Yeah. And then everything that came after that, moving home, getting into the practice, talking through, you know, contract agreements and stuff like that, everything I prayed about happened. Yeah. ask and it shall be given to you.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think it's important to remember that when you do pray and ask for something, it's not going to happen, so say, the next day.
No.
And the Lord knows your real intentions.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it should be pure. And also, like you said, you prayed in gratitude, which is something that I think a lot of us forget. And I'm not perfect either. Sometimes I forget. You have to pray during the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Amen.
All the time.
Amen. Dude, that you just hit like the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah.
Like that bar. Jesus bar. like highest level.
Yeah. No, but it's true. It's true.
It is. And man, so like all that's happening and a lot of things happen, man, like consistency compounds and no one tells you when. And I don't like to talk about this per se, but I will for the sake of, I think it just glorifies Jesus more. Get to graduation and there's a very high reward that the school gives, the Keeler Award. And, you know, I'm sitting there talking to one of my buddies thinking, like, it's going to be this person. Like, she's amazing. Or this guy, like, he's awesome. They call my name. Oh, I'm not the 4-0. I'm not the highest scoring person.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get up there and I'm shocked. Like, I have to give, like, an impromptu speech in front of the whole auditorium. And I'm like, you know,
I was not expecting this.
I was not expecting this. This was a team effort, and I just really poured back into that. Like, this is a reflection of all of us.
Yeah.
You know, my name's at the bottom, but this is a reflection of the team because this is a team win. Because without all of you, this wouldn't be possible. And it's the same if anyone else would have won it, right? And then it was all God, dude. Like, because at the same time, like, I felt like that little pride that still was in there was like, man, like, I'm really showing up for everyone. I just wish someone would show up for me. Like, I'm showing up for them. Yeah. And then, like, that happened. And it was like, that was pretty cool and all that. And then it was just blessings on blessings. Like, I get home, move home, training very consistently again. Because when I was in chiro school, like, I still trained a lot of jiu-jitsu, but I didn't receive, like, instruction per se. Like, it was, like, open mats.
And you didn't have, you know, your home gym, so say.
It was open mats in Texas, going back to the home gym when I was on breaks and stuff. And, dude, like, out of the blue, me and Shane get our black belts. And now I step into a leadership role of, like, okay.
Helping the younger, or maybe not the younger, but helping the next generation.
Like that, yeah. Yep. But that's the name, man. But go into that, and then, dude, you get a black, like, now I have, you know, I had a list back in the day of, like, you know, jiu-jitsu black belt, doctor of chiropractic, husband, all this stuff.
Yeah, you're checking them all off.
I'm checking them off because consistency compounds and no one tells you when. And most importantly, through the grace of God, because none of it's possible without him. And I get this black belt, and I'm like, okay, it's not about me.
Yeah, very humble about it.
Just like that reward, is a culmination of all the conversations, all the roles, all the trainings, all the hard times that everyone else in this gym poured into me as a pissed off young kid that now has stepped into a leadership role in this gym. So everywhere I go, I'm going to carry this emblem representing the very best of this gym. And go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, so what, like, if you could have seen yourself right when you started jiu-jitsu and then could see yourself right when you got that black belt, like, what do you think y'all would say to each other? Because I'm sure y'all are two completely different people.
The white belt me would have said, no way you exist. And the black belt me, or me now, would have told that kid, believe in yourself and don't ever give up. Most importantly, trust God. Trust that he's going to get you through all those storms. Yeah. And he did, dude. Because during that whole time, backtracking to the clinic, the situation I'm in now with work and stuff.
Yeah.
The word that kept popping in my head, because he speaks in whispers. He speaks in words. Like, I know some people say, I have visions.
No, it is.
Yeah. I have visions and this and that, but he just, most of the time, he doesn't talk to me that way, you know? Yeah. It's like one word.
I find it's more like when I'm in prayer, I like to walk. I'm a huge pacer.
Yeah.
So like I'll be praying about something and then I'll hear like calm down or, you know, keep going. It's something, but I hear it in my tone, but like, you know, I'll look up. So like, it just feels like it's not from me. I'm just like speaking the words I'm supposed to be.
100%.
I don't know. It's a weird way to interpret.
It's weird. It is weird to say, but
you understand.
I get it. My word during that time was trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust me. And when I truly, and this is very hard to do, especially like as an ambitious young man just trying to make it in the world, I gave it all to him, dude. I was like,
just surrender.
Surrender it.
Come out with your hands
up. You're going to take care of everything. Similar things to when I was trying to make the payments for jiu-jitsu at the time, you know, the exact amount of the bills I had to pay came.
That's crazy.
The little house Ryan and I are in now came through at the perfect timing. Family things fell apart, but greater things grew from it. Like, all these things are playing out through him for the glory of his name, because he's trying to put me in a position to spread his kingdom. And that's like, people ask me if I'm a chiropractor. It's like, yes, by earthly sense, I'm a chiropractor and a black belt and all this stuff. But dude, like,
you're really a disciple.
I'm a warrior in Christ, man.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to like save. If I could just save one person,
yeah,
that's more than enough. You know.
That's awesome. Wow.
So that's like.
You're giving me almost some goose.
Yeah, that's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. Like, you know, as a Christian, like, I carry my cross, and dude, I'm the farthest thing from perfect. You know,
I think that's also a thing I like to say a lot.
Yeah,
I'm not perfect.
No, dude,
we're never gonna be perfect. No. We all have our days, and I don't like to even call it days. We all have our moments, because it's not even one bad thing can happen, and like, that doesn't mean the whole day has to be bad. Like, hey, shake that off. It's in the past now. But as far as like perfection, you can only chase it.
Yep.
And I think the chase is what makes it, like, what makes your worth. Like, if I'm out here chasing, I know I might never ever catch it, but just the chase and pursuing, that's what it's about.
It's like, yeah, man. It's like, the reality is, like, what I'm chasing, I'm probably never going to reach.
Yeah.
But I'm going to die trying.
Yeah.
You know, to be the most elite version of myself as, you know, a follower of Christ, a dad, a husband, a martial artist, chiropractor.
Yeah.
To just tote that line, because, like, if you stay disciplined in your flesh, your spirit has the ability to really overcome. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Jesus says, like, with prayer and fasting, with gratitude, all of those things are how you overcome the depression, the anxiety, the lust, the envy, the pride, the greed. Like, all these things, like, all the answers are there. Yeah. We just got to take it on faith, trust him, and apply it, and just stay disciplined. Like, to be, in my opinion, a Christian is to carry your cross daily, crucify your flesh daily, and keep going, and live, like, you know, be a voice for those who...
Be a voice for the voiceless.
Boom. That's it. Yep. That's it, man. and then with, like, jiu-jitsu and all, like, how do I carry myself as a Christian, a black belt, you know, chiro, like, carry myself in a way that represents the best or the standard of that gym, that organization, that everything. Like, be like the nice guy that doesn't live by my titles. Like, you're not Dr. Logan Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm just Logan. All these other things are just different hats I wear at different points of the time. But at the same time, like, I'm just the person that God is trying to make me to be, to help out as many individuals as I can. Whether it be, you know, self-defense, health and wellness, or just general life.
And you're not, like, that's not your identity.
No.
In the same breath. And I like how you mentioned that, like, especially about the credentials and stuff, like, you have so many accolades under your belt, but yet at the same time, that isn't you. Like, you are Logan. Yeah, I liked how you mentioned that.
I'm just Logan, dude.
But
son of the Most High.
Yes, I love that.
That's it.
So let me ask you, you've made it so like all these journeys, and I've really enjoyed hearing the story. Mm-hmm. And I know you said you didn't want to mention this, which I'm not going to force you to do that, but what are just some future plans that you want in this future?
So I'm definitely going to be, renovating the clinic I'm at now because it is a little dated, and I want it to be a place. So like what I do as a chiropractor, I'm not your typical rack and crack type of guy.
Okay.
I don't really like that. If I come in with a problem, I don't just want to lay on a table, get heat and stem, get an adjustment, and just get kicked out the door.
Yeah.
I never did like that. So I do something that's a little different. I do a lot of manual decompression, so less relying on like just your traditional adjustments. While I have that skill set, I utilize that. I utilize rehab, a lot of rehab, dry needling, muscle work. And what I'm trying to do is build a team of like kind of like the full package. Like you come in, if you want recovery work, we have that. If you want, performance therapy, we have that. If you want traditional chiropractic stuff, we have that. But if you are suffering from like very bad musculoskeletal injuries, I do utilize a technique that's very tailored to that the medical community has been very behind.
Yeah.
A lot of research behind it.
So you almost kind of want a utility belt of everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a pretty cool thing to have because you can kind of get it all in one almost.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, later on, like, I may bring on some different specialists and individuals, but still just very much in the genesis of it, man. Like, I'm still building it, and I do have names picked out, but I want to save that kind of like a later reveal.
Definitely.
But at the end of the day, man, Lord's will be done, not mine.
Yeah.
Like, if he wants to take it all from me, it's his. Yeah. I tell people, this is not my business. This is the Lord's business. I'm just a manager.
Yeah. So you're just here.
Dude, I'm just here.
So you don't get fined.
Yeah. And then when the Lord wants to punch my ticket and take me up, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I love that philosophy.
Yeah.
Before I get into my question that I want to ask you, I just want to give you your flowers right quick. It was just a great story to hear in general, because I've always had a strong faith. I don't know if you know, but when I was in 10th grade, I got in a bad accident and got diagnosed with epilepsy. And like kind of a whole change of scope. Like that's why I wanted to become a therapist or a counselor, because I had sought out counseling after, because like you said about your mental, like it just wasn't there anymore up here. And like I just didn't believe in myself. I just felt different outside, like it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And to hear your story really like resonates with me, and I know it's going to resonate with a lot of people. So I just want to say I appreciate that, and I appreciate your mindset, because I don't think a lot of people have that. And more people should try and adopt that type of mindset of like, just give it to God and just to believe in yourself, really. And I give you all the flowers in the world.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Keep it going.
I will. And I just hope, like I said, if I could save one.
Yeah.
If I could just save one person, put them on the right direction. Not that it's the same direction as me. Just lead them to God, lead them to...
Be that light for them.
Just be ultra disciplined.
Yeah.
In whatever you do, and do it for the good of everyone else.
Yes.
Like, that's it.
So let me ask you now, Logan, why do you enjoy life?
I enjoy life because it's all just been such a gift. Everything from the moment I wake up next to Rylan to the moment I get to train with some of my buddies, to the moment I get to have conversations with you, to helping people who are suffering from chronic pain get, even if it's a little bit of relief or the rest of their life relief, seen both.
Yeah.
I enjoy life because it's all been such a gift from God. And, I just hope one day I get to, dap up Jesus and enjoy heaven with him.
I don't know how that's going to be like.
Yeah,
I mean, is it daps or is it...
I don't know. I'm going to go in for the hug.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll return the favor. But yeah, man, it's just a heart of gratitude. That's all
Simple
it is.
answer. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that. And once again, man, thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed this
Thanks for having me, man.
conversation. Like,
been
it's
cool.
one of the, I'm not going to say we've had some bad ones or anything, but just like, not everyone's talking about God or maybe like bringing up like how much faith plays a role. And I've always had a huge faith, especially after my accident. So like,
Yeah.
that really just hit home for me, man. Like,
Amen, bro.
I'm sorry, I'm grinning though.
No, dude, it's all good.
You got me
Amen.
cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But thank you again.
Appreciate
I
it.
really do appreciate it. Guys, please like, comment, subscribe. And honestly, if you're ever interested in martial arts or anything, go check Logan out at Next Generation.
Next Generation Martial Arts, and then my chiropractic page is Dr. Low Chiro. So
Go check him out.
Yep.
Thank y'all again. We love y'all. We're out.